So hello everyone, welcome to AeroTap, and guys, welcome to your other important session, that is other important lecture on our ESI news series. Talking about today's session, so today's session guys, I will be covering the important PIB links, that is from 21st of April to 23rd of April. Now as I have discussed earlier also, why this ESI section is important is because it is catering to our examination both in phase 1 as well as in the phase 2 examination. Okay, now if you are new to our YouTube channel, guys, kindly subscribe to the channel so that you could get all the latest updates regarding any change in examination or the other things that we are providing. Okay, to get the PDF, you should subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link for which is given in the description below. Now guys, before proceeding with this session, this is something very much important that I want to share with you, that is our revision masters. So guys, in the previous session I have given you an homework that is on National Mission on Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem and the National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. So I'm really glad that Mr. Vishak, he has given the answer here. So I want that in next session there should be more people, more active people who should be in our revision masters series. Now guys, coming to today's session. So today's session I will be covering with you 4 important topics. That is topic number 1, Next Gen Health Summit, that is by the name of Reimagine Healthcare. The second topic of the day is 5th Virtual Global Forum on TB Vaccine. Third one is Habitat for Humanity to support housing, microloans for India's vulnerable communities. And the fourth one is the 5th session of Codex Committees on Spices and Culinary Herbs. So guys, now the system will be same, that first of all I will be asking you some important MCQs that is based on the news. Then I will be discussing the news with you in detail. Now based on the first news, let's start the first question. So the first question is very simple question that could be asked in our phase 1 examination as well as in our phase 2 examination. The question is that which among the following organization has organized this Next Gen Health Summit by the name of Reimagine Healthcare? Very easy question, typical question generally being asked in the examination. So now you tell me the name of the organization. Is it IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry? Is it FICCI? Is it FSSAI? Is it CCI or is it FCI? I think very easy. If you have gone through the news, then I think this will be a very icing on cake question for you. Now guys, coming to the answer of the question. So answer here is option number A, that is IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry has organized this Next Gen Summit, that is by the name of Reimagine Healthcare. Now guys, let's discuss about this initiative. So before discussing, this is something very much important now. Looking at the increasing COVID cases, this is something daily we are seeing. Healthy life habits. Based on this healthy life habits, now let's discuss what is this summit all about. Now guys, our Union Health Minister, he has addressed a summit by the name of Next Gen Health Summit, that is Reimagine Our Healthcare Initiative. The initiative was launched by guys IMC, that is in IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now during the summit, the Union Health Minister, he has shared that now there is a very important need, that as COVID-19 cases are rising, so we need to have a better health and wellness centers. So for that purpose, the information that he has shared is, he says that at present we have 75,000 Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centers. The target what we are expecting is, the government is setting up a target to set up around 1,50,000 Ayushman Bharat centers by the year of 2022. Again, very important thing. Now, from here, the important thing that we should remember is this Ayushman Bharat scheme. So this scheme itself is now very much important for us. That is Ayushman Bharat scheme. Other important initiatives that Minister has informed about are, that is guys, that is Fit India initiative. I think I have discussed with you Fit India initiative a lot of time in my other videos, like ESI revision series, scheme revision series. Other important, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So these are two important things that you should go. Fit India initiative, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Other important is our Eat Right India program. So he said that these are very important programs for healthcare benefits, which have produced a huge success in building public movements as well as health and well-being in India. Now again, something related to health, nutrition is there. So earlier we have discussed in the first lecture, I have discussed about Ahar Kranti, Poshan Gyan initiative. These are other important initiatives that you should revise from the earlier sessions that we have conducted. Now, one thing that I'm discussing with you is this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So here again, I'm discussing with you about this scheme. Most important guys, the thing is when the scheme is launched. So generally questions are asked that when the scheme is launched, it is launched in year 2018. Ministry I've discussed with you, it is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, who is the nodal ministry for that important organization. Now guys, see, this thing is something important. When I talk about PIB news, PIB generally क्या होता है, PIB में what used to happen is, generally PIB, there is a simple mention of the scheme. They are not talking about the scheme in it, but just a simple mention of the scheme, like in the news, Ayushman Bharat centers. So now it is our responsibility that we should go through about the scheme also, on which these centers are important. Okay, now umbrella scheme, we have discussed Ayushman Bharat scheme. So now guys, here important, if I talk about Jan Arogya Yojana, it simply says that it is under this scheme that a national healthcare policy is being provided, which provides you rupees 5 lakh per family per year. Very important is this line, that is 5 lakh rupees will be given. It is per family per year. It is not per family member, it is per according to per family, but it is given annually. This is rupees 5 lakh. Then on which purpose it will be given? It is basically given for your secondary and tertiary care hospitalization. This is something very much important. Now in the news I have discussed with you are health and wellness centers. Okay, so health and wellness centers. Now why they are important? Because they are covering basically with you the primary healthcare initiative. So primary healthcare initiative, health and wellness centers are important. At secondary and tertiary care, we are providing you, that is government is providing you a health policy that is rupees 5 lakh per family per year. Okay, this is something very much important, which is basically why we are using this thing is we want to cater the bottom 40% of our Indian population. Now, why this scheme is important? Whenever any new scheme is launched, sometimes two schemes are subsumed, which means they are merged under this specific scheme. So, the schemes that has been merged under this scheme is, that is Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, and the other one is your Senior Citizens Health Insurance Scheme. Now, then important thing, we know 5 lakh will be provided. Sometimes generally question is funding, how it will be provided. So now guys, in center and state, it will be provided in the ratio of 60:40. That is 60:40. Then for northeastern states, it will be 90:10. And for all the union territories, 100% of the funding will be provided by the central government. If I talk about how the person will be getting eligible, so the person will basically being eligible under the socio-economic caste census for 2011. That was the recent census, and it will be covering both the rural and urban population. Very important thing guys. Why I am emphasizing on these kind of lines now guys, because if you look at the recent paper, recent questions that have been asked, they are now, instead of asking basic questions in schemes, they are getting into more detail of the news. So now they could simply ask a question whether only rural people are covered or only urban people are covered. So both rural and urban people are covered under the socio-economic caste census, are eligible for our Jan Arogya Yojana scheme. Implementation agency, at national level it will be National Health Authority, and at state level it will be state health agencies or state health authorities. Features I have discussed with you, rupees 5 lakh will be provided per family per year. Then it will be covering 3 days of pre-hospitalization and 15 days of post-hospitalization. Now let us understand about this thing, pre-hospitalization and post-hospitalization. Let us assume that you have been admitted on 6th of April. Now 3 days prior, that is 5th, 4th, 3rd, which means 3rd of April to 15 days prior, that is on 20th of April. So these all days, the expense of all these days will be covered under this Jan Arogya scheme. Very important is the scheme is available both in the public as well as empaneled private hospitals. Now guys, this is something very much important to understand. Empaneled private hospitals. Empaneled simply means it doesn't cover all the private hospitals. It simply means those private hospitals that are there in the list of government, that government issues on daily basis or government issues on sometimes. Those private hospitals that are mentioned in that specific, they will be covered under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It doesn't mean that each and every private hospital is covered. This is something very much important that you should remember guys. Okay, now with this, the first thing that we have to, the news is not that much important, but the important thing in this news was this Jan Arogya Yojana scheme or this Ayushman Bharat scheme. So primary level, so I hope this snippet will also help you. At primary level, these are health and wellness centers, but at secondary level, we cover basically to secondary and tertiary care hospitalization is the main thing at the secondary level. Okay, now moving to the second topic of the day, that with this I am so I have provided you a paragraph based on the news. Now let you go through the paragraph. I am waiting for you. And after reading through the paragraph, let us see the first question that I'm asking you. The first question is, guys, according to the above mentioned passage, which among the following institute has been working on the India's TB Research Consortium for developing the new drugs, diagnostics, vaccines, and the therapeutics for the tuberculosis, which simply means that this abbreviation, which simply means the Global Forum on TB Vaccine, which means the important thing is the TB vaccine. So India TB Research Consortium, you have to tell me which organization is setting up or has been working on this on this consortium. Is it Indian Council for Medical Research? Is it All India Institute for Medical Sciences? Is it National Tuberculosis Institute? Is it National Institute of Tuberculosis and Respiratory Diseases? Is it the Tuberculosis Association of India? If you know about TB, so here are the confusing options. Question might be easy, but options here are now difficult. Okay, options here are very confusing. So coming to the answer here is, guys, option number A, that is Indian Council for Medical Research. Based on a similar paragraph, the second question that I am asking you is that this is a new pattern question that we have seen in the paragraph. Now, why this question is important is because here they generally give you 3 statements, and based on the statements they give you an option. Now, the question that I am asking you is, it is asking you about the statements which are true about tuberculosis in India. The first statement is, India has the largest burden of tuberculosis patients globally in terms of absolute numbers. You have to tell me whether in terms of absolute numbers we have the highest number of patients, or whether generally we have highest number of patients, but we are not the leading people. We are not the leading country there. So in terms of absolute numbers, it is around 2.64 million. Second question that the second statement here is, Jammu and Kashmir has been certified as the first TB-free union territory of India. This question can easily be asked in your phase 1 examination, because if you look at the keyword here, that is first. I have discussed with you a lot of time. Whenever anything has taken place for the first time, there is a very, very high probability that a question could be asked here, guys. Second, the third statement here is, government has launched this TB Mukt Bharat campaign, which is basically being launched to take efforts towards fighting the TB to community level and making it a people's movement. You have to tell me whether this statement is related to TB Mukt Bharat campaign or to any other initiative. Okay. Now, based on these 3 statements, let us know what is the correct option, because the question that is asking is, it is asking you the true statement. This is again important. Here you should also emphasize more whether they have asked a question on right statement or on incorrect statement. So guys, the right answer here is, that is option number C, that is 1 and 3 only. Here the option here is wrong. Let us see why this option is wrong. Now, recently, guys, this 5th virtual global forum on TB vaccine has taken place, which is being addressed by our Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare. The important, because if you seek out TB vaccine, now what should be the initiative? It is basically saying it is the world's largest gathering, which basically gathers the stakeholders, so that we should look what is the status of developing and deploying the new vaccines to prevent tuberculosis. Again, very important thing. Now let's see, because COVID cases are rising, generally these kind of news are also coming, because tuberculosis patients are suffering. So we want a proper vaccine for tuberculosis patients also. Now, if I talk about the relation of India and tuberculosis, what is the patient between? India has the largest burden of tuberculosis patients, guys, and these are also in terms of absolute numbers. This is something very much important information that has been shared. Largest burden of TB, which is estimated around 2.64 million people are suffering from TB in India, that are in absolute numbers, which is the largest burden globally. Then the question that I've asked you. So guys, first TB free union territory is Union Territory of Lakshadweep, is the first TB free UT of India. This is something very, very important, guys. This is the thing that you should never forget, because a single question could also be asked based on the information. Okay. Now, coming to the district. So those of you who might got confused, this, guys, district that is named as Budgam, it is in Jammu and Kashmir. It is not the first TB free UT. It is that first TB free district of India was there in this UT of, that is Jammu and Kashmir. So this is something again very much important. These 2 points are very important. First TB free UT, that is Lakshadweep, and first TB free district in India, that is district Budgam, that is in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Now, other important information that has been shared is, it says that India has returned to pre-COVID levels of TB enrollment, which means around 1.8 million people, 1.8 million patients are suffering from TB in December 2020, which is more than 11% that were reported in April 2020. Guys, this is again a very serious problem. COVID cases are also increasing, but TB cases are also increasing day by day. Okay. Now, if I talk about the initiatives that government has taken, so guys, the initiative here is that is TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, which is basically the campaign here simply means it is an effort to make fight towards TB at the community level at people's movement. So this is basically to fight against the TB at community level is this TB Mukt Bharat campaign. Then the other important initiative that has been taken is, so ICMR, that is Indian Council for Medical Research, it is basically guys focusing on this India TB Research Consortium. It is developing this India TB Research Consortium for that they could develop new drugs, new diagnostic techniques, as well as new therapies for treating the tuberculosis. Very important thing. This the TB burden is very much important. And now guys, one thing very much important, if you have gone through one important news, that is tribal TB initiative. So this is again something important that you should go through tribal TB initiative, because this was also recent in news, tribal TB initiative. Now see, look at the lungs here. COVID also, people are suffering lungs. TB also, it affects the lungs. Okay, so this is something very much serious concern for us. The other important thing is that it has been closely working, so that for multi-country collaboration, it has been working with BRICS TB Research Network for the multi-country collaboration for developing a drug. Now efforts, the minister has in this meeting, minister has seriously emphasized that there should be an effort at global level to redouble the efforts so that adequate funding could be provided to have a new TB vaccine. Now the other important thing is he wants that the TB vaccine should be, it can be developed by 2023 and which would help us in ending TB in India by 2025, which is the target set up by the government. Earlier at a global level, the target is by 2030. Now guys, here something important is you should know about the National TB Mission. So these are something which is very much important for you. So two important initiatives that you should go through is, first of all, you should know about the Tribal TB India initiative that has been launched recently. Other important thing that you should go through is this National TB Mission. Now, coming to the third topic of the day, the question here is that recently which among the following organization or Dash has teamed up with Habitat for Humanity International to expand its microfinance risk participation and guarantee program so that it could help microfinance institutions in delivering housing loans to low income families in rural as well as in peri-urban areas of India, Bangladesh, Indonesia and the Philippines. So guys, here which means simply means this paragraph has given us all the important information. Typical question that is generally being asked. It could be asked, this question could also be asked in phase 1 and phase 2. That is why I am also saying that you have to prepare holistically for phase 1 as well as phase 2, because these are kind of questions that we have seen in the recent examination. NABARD has the tendency that they are also asking questions on these kind of questions, and RBI is also asking these kind of questions. Okay, now let us see how many of you know the answer. So here guys, the answer is option number D. Yes, Asian Development Bank has teamed up with this organization for its ADB microfinance risk participation and guarantee program, that is Asian Development Bank. Now guys, the Asian Development Bank, it has partnered with the Habitat for Humanity International. This is again important because they could ask a question on this organization also, with which Asian Development Bank has teamed up. Okay? The purpose here is so that it could expand its ADB's microfinance risk participation and guarantee program. See, now just look at the name of the initiative, microfinance risk participation, which simply means that to provide finance to microfinance institutions and helping them in reducing their guarantee. Okay, now how it will be using, it will be basically helping to delivering the housing loans to the low income families. This is something very much important guys. Housing loan will be provided, but to whom? Catering to which part? That is to low income families in rural and peri-urban areas. So rural and peri-urban simply means those areas which are not fully urban but rural and urban के बीच में जो area, that is the area between rural and urban area, is this peri-urban areas. The countries which it is focusing on, it is India, Bangladesh, Indonesia and Philippines. So these are the countries on which this initiative is focusing now. which means it is not a new initiative. This is something very much important. It is not a new initiative, it is an old initiative. Okay, the collaboration, how it will be helping it is because it will be providing you micro loans. So micro loan simply means that small amount of loan will be provided to you, so that the loan will be provided so that you could have a better housing facilities, better home improvement if you want to improve, and the most important is water and sanitation facility that will be provided under this ADB microfinance risk participation and guarantee program. Okay, the aim here is to encourage private sector financing. So this is something very much important, guys. Risk participation, and for risk participation we always see in ESI also that we could not make a government heavy thing. We want private investment also. So that is the focus here, is to focus on a private sector financing, as well as so that how it would help is through risk allocation and guarantees. That is, they would be allocating some risk to private sectors also, and providing private sectors will also be providing some kind of guarantee. Most important thing is, guys, it will be focusing again on empowering women, which means 90% of the financing targets will be women micro borrowers. So again, this initiative will also be focusing on the women empowerment. Now, see in the lecture 2, when I was discussing about Amazon Sambhav Summit, there also I have discussed with you an important initiative that is focusing on holistic approach for Northeast. There also the main focus was on empowering women. So this is again something that you could relate. Okay, empowering women. Just focus and wait here. Sir, yes, we have learned something about empowering women in the earlier sessions also, and try to focus on that initiatives also. That will be really great for you in memorizing these current affairs. Okay. Now, if I talk about how the program will be working, guys, so here I have provided you a very important snippet. This is very much important, how this program is working. So basically, the rating agency, that is, they are basically assigning the higher credit ratings to credit enhancing bonds. Now, how Asian Development Bank is helping here is, it is basically microfinance institutions, they will be issuing bonds to trustees. Trustee will be also repaying the bonds, will also be done. But the most important thing here is, guys, ADB is providing you them the partial guarantee here, which means ADB will help these microfinance institutions so that they could obtain the finance from commercial banks, which means, see, trustees or banks, microfinance institutions, what they are helping is they are issuer, but they are getting the fund from this trustee or commercial banks. Loan will be, that is, up to $30 million will be provided in the first phase of this initiative. Now, where this microfinance institution company will be helping? Habitat for Humanity, they will be helping in piloting, testing, designing the pilot tests, rollouting of the loans. All things that would be done by the by this microfinance institution, by the trustees. Okay, so trustee issues proceeds, and microfinance institutions will be repaying the bond to the trustees. Okay, then about the program, so I have discussed with earlier, it is basically a credit enhancement and risk allocation. So credit should be enhanced. See first line, assigning higher rating to credit enhanced bonds, credit enhancement. Risk allocation from microfinance institutions, what we are doing is we are allocating the risk. Okay, risk allocation is there. The ultimate aim is to promote the local currency lending to microfinance institution. This is the mystical aim of this initiative. Okay, then ADB will be helping to increase the access to the local currency funding, because this ultimately what it will be doing is it is increasing the access to local currency funding, as well as addressing the financial needs of millions of millions of people who are in need of money but they are not getting the money. That way ADB is helping the small people. Okay, now coming to the last topic of the day and the last question of the day, guys. Now, guys, recently the 5th session of Codex Committees on Spices and Culinary Herbs has been established under the Codex Alimentary Commission has taken place. Now, the question that I've given you detail about this session that has taken place. The question that has been asked is, which among the following country has hosted a session that is mentioned in the above paragraph? Now, guys, this is again a new trend that we have witnessed in RBI examination. They have framed a full-fledged paragraph, then they have just asked you a single one-marker question. So, lot of students are getting confused, sir. This is a very lengthy paper, lengthy question. Guys, this is something that we have to know. This is what we are also providing as a practice questions. Okay? Question could be very simple, but the framing of that question could be lengthy for you. The simple question that I'm asking you is, this organization or this summit, that is Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herbs, has been established under which of the following, has been hosted by which of the following country? Is it Brazil? Is it India? Is it Turkey? Is it China or is it USA? So guys, the answer here is option number B, that is India has hosted this initiative. Now, if I talk about this initiative, guys, this initiative or this important thing, most of you might be feeling that this is an agriculture topic. But now if you look at the recent paper, recent syllabus of RBI, Indian agriculture is again very much important topic that could be asked. Now see, this is something, there should be a thin line that how they should differentiate between what should be covered in NABARD and what should be covered in RBI. Now for RBI perspective, the most important question that could be asked is host country. Okay, they would not be getting the detail that what has been done there, what has been done there. They will simply be asking question on host country or secretariat. Okay, now for the NABARD perspective, the question that could be asked is on which perspective this report has taken place. So for NABARD people, guys, this line is very much important. It has considered the quality standards for dried or dehydrated forms of ginger, cloves, saffron, and 2 culinary herbs, that is oregano and basil. So these are the important forms of agricultural products on which this quality standard has been considered. Other important thing, guys, that 3 proposals for new work, for new standards has been worked on, that is on the products of cardamom, turmeric, and prioritizing the group standards for the spices in the form of dried fruits and berries. So for dried fruits and berries, turmeric and cardamom, new standards has to be formed, that has also been considered under this meeting. Other important thing, when I talk about those 2 institutes, the question could be asked on these 2 institutes also. Okay, these 2 institutes, this question could be asked. The first is, that is Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herbs. Most important, guys, this was set up in 2013, and very important thing to remember is India will always be the host country. India was the host country, India is the host country, and India will be the host country because it is an Indian initiative. And its secretariat is the Spice Board of India. This is the secretariat. These are 2 very important questions that could be asked in our RBI examination, in our NABARD examination. Both these questions could be asked because these are kind of trends, looking at the recent trend also. These are kind of questions that could be asked in both the examination. Okay. The other important organization, that is Codex Alimentarius Commission. Okay, so guys, here it is the most important is who has set up this organization. It is an intergovernmental body, which means it is between 2 multi governments. This initiative has taken place, and it is being formed by, established under FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization, and the World Health Organization. Now this is something very much important, guys, because this is a kind of topic which most of people who are preparing for both the examination, they might feel, sir, whether this kind of topic should be covered or not covered. So the purpose of bringing this news is that you should know that what are the things that needs to be covered in RBI examination and what are the things that are important for NABARD examination, so that you could have a basic differentiation also, and you should prepare the news accordingly. Okay, now with that, guys, we come to the end of the session. Now coming to the homework of today's session. The first homework is about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. In the first news, we have discussed this initiative, that is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Fit India movement. So Jan Arogya Yojana I have discussed with you. Swachh Bharat Mission or Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, this is the first homework of the day that you should go through. And I will be looking at how many new revision masters I will be getting in the next session. So I want more of revision masters, guys, because the purpose of giving you the homework is so that the other important thing that are there in news, you should have at least gone through that specific also, because generally that happens in the examination is the things are in news, but you might feel, sir, ye to 1 saal purana tha, it is a 2.5-year-old current affair that is not. No, guys, the thing will always be there in the news. So this is the most important thing that you should go through. This is why this revision master series, this is why this revision homework is given to you. The other important thing is this, yes, National Strategic Plan for Tuberculosis Elimination, that is from 2017 to 2025. Because tuberculosis, we have discussed the initiative. So TB initiative, this is very much important that you should see, that I will to see you in the comment box. With that, the other important initiative that you should also go through is the Tribal TB initiative. I will be glad if somebody shares the information about Tribal TB initiative also. So these are the 3 important homeworks that you should go through. Guys, that brings us to the end of the session. So again, if you have any kind of suggestion or you want anything you want to ask to us, you could drop us an email. Our email ID is hello@edutap.co.in. You could also place us a call. Our mobile number is 81462 07241. So I hope the lecture is fruitful for you. So you should be coming to our next sessions also. So keep liking us, keep giving your feedback also to us. Okay, so bye bye.